What up, y'all? I know not everyone feels like listening to a 40+ minute poll plans video for the month, so I broke it up to abbreviate my thoughts in a more easily digestible way. I know half of y'all, though, ain't subscribed, so go ahead and do that. Like the video, leave a comment with what you think about the upcoming content and your plans as well. And if you want to see the whole video, I'll be providing a link to that as well. Check that out for sure. Thanks a million, and now let's get into what you're really here for, alright? Transcendence 3, the last event of the month. We have Porom's LD, very hyped as the Lufenia Plus savior, and I'm here to rain on the parade and put things into perspective, so buckle up, guys. Porom did not get a rework, but she didn't need one as her LD is utterly broken, as I'm sure you've heard of by now if you're watching this video. The actual attack is a burst heal, and then it batteries the party, and it does a double Brave plus HP split AoE attack. Porom gets a new buff off of this, right? The big thing that Porom's known for, at least one of them, is the follow-up that happens after all of her attacks. Or not even attacks, just any button she presses. So C65, skill 1, skill 2, anything she hits, she will follow up afterwards and not consume Brave. Brave Shave based on HP, I don't know whether it's the party or Porom self due to translations, but it's someone's HP. It does do an AoE Brave Shave, but it doesn't break based on the current HP of the party. And the HP damage is split, and it also batteries the party based on the HP damage dealt. So Porom's big thing is that she provides a lot of safety in terms of Brave in the after turn, but there's more. Just you wait. Additionally, this buff gives massive overflows up, and it's not usually it's like 20/20. Porom has stolen Brave overflow up 50% on this buff and gained overflow up 30%. That's abnormal. She also gets HP regen for the party on top of this. Party's max HP goes up as well. So now the party's HP can scale even better now, and she can overheal with this stuff. So if you throw Freya's Sphere on Porom, it gets crazy. There's some shenanigans explaining for Porom's HP artifacts over other stuff. I don't know the exact ramifications for it, so don't ask. That being said, I did farm 10/20s on Porom. And it also gives the party entirely last stand. So sorry, Freya guy. This is almost like direct creep to exactly what Freya does. And on top of all this, when the party is above 100% of HP, at or above 100% HP, Porom increases the party's Brave gains by 20%. This is the big one and why she has a big claim to fame. She is the first, I believe, of the Brave gain up for party units. So all your batteries are getting bumped up. This is a direct counter to Lufenia Brave gain reduction, and it gets even steeper in Lufenia Plus, which is why Porom was so sought out there, just to counter the steep reductions that we already had. You feel me? Porom has the encouragement, the battery high armor, good because she batteries on everything. Very good for her. And her splits lean HP, which makes sense because the party is getting batteried all the time. So you have an easier, especially with those giant overflows, you have an easier time hitting those caps. Blue Porom is definitely a solid investment. As for her calls, the base call is Cry, her skill 1. The effect is just a aura party attack buff, and you can apply the 80, I believe it's 80% defense down from Cry, which is actually kind of solid. LD call is pocket overflows along with a nerfed Brave gain up for the party. Pretty good. But you're probably not using this over like Jack and Kurasami, so I mean, whatever. Yeah, this is all good stuff, very defensive, but notice she doesn't actually get much in terms of party Brave or HP damage up, and I'll go into that in a second. Actually, it's been a second. It's time for violence. Porom will not save you in Lufenia Plus. Lufenia Plus is not a boogeyman. I've said this so many times, but Porom is not a win button. You still have to, if you're not doing teams that take advantage of the Brave gain, or I mean, Porom provides that safety net for the battery and the healing and the keeping you your HP in check with the HP damage reduction. But again, Porom will not just win you battles by virtue of being there. You still have to build around her. She's not the one-size-fits-all solution to every single battle. While she can fit in pretty much every team comp, you still need to build an appropriate team that will do things. She's not a carry button, and I think that needs to be emphasized so people get their expectations in check. Personally, I actually skipped Porom on her release because I could do Transcendence 3 fine without her, so I didn't see the need, and I didn't understand how powerful she was. And while I did end up getting her on like a free LD pull later down the line, well, I still hadn't used her. To this date, I haven't used her on Lufenia Plus because I haven't really ever Sorry, I hit my mic there. I haven't felt like I needed to, really. I think it's important that I stress this perspective, that if you're not interested in Porom, you can be fine in the upcoming difficulties and whatever content comes to pass, and you're not gonna, and while there was periods for me when I felt like, oh man, Porom looks like dope, you know, I eventually got over it and was like, eh, whatever. I mean, I live without her. So if you have any questions about not having Porom, I'm your guy to ask. She definitely has a powerful area and she's still being used to this day for stuff. But that applies to a lot of people, so I don't think it's a great metric to judge a unit by. Don't worry, I got y'all in 4K. I remember when Porom came out, she was annoying. She was okay, but a skip. Her voice was annoying, but now everyone seems to forget that her voice is annoying just because she's a hyped up meta unit for the game. I hate it here. What you're getting into with Porom, again, I can't say it enough. Very powerful, but also very skippable at the same time. That's not a hot take, because you can see on all my runs in JP, and I ain't used Porom except for one boss rush, which was base lufenia, where I just felt like using her and never touched her again. Please don't feel like you're missing out if you're not interested in using her as a unit. Please, that's all I'm saying. All that being said, am I pulling? Yes. I have committed in my New Game Plus and Global to doing Brave Gain Up means similar to Alpha No, because it looks like a fun way to do it. So I already have Istola's Burst, I have Porom, so I wanna try out the Brave Gain side of things and mix up things that I did in JP. So a little less Warrior Light and a little more Porom are gonna be on my team. So just try and mix it up. Should be fun. She's good for a while. I don't want to spam her because that might get boring, but I want to try it out. Basically, what I'm trying to say. Porom is not known to rerun at any point except currently in JP. Actually, there is a banner up where it is Bart's BT and Porom LD. It's like a weird. They've been starting these like weird BT banners after during the start of a 2-week synergy cycle, where just a random old BT is featured with a random other LD. So, but that's like right now in JP. So that's like 8 months out, and if you're gonna wait 8 months to use Porom and get Bart's Burst there, I mean, that's a very strange decision. But so yeah, this is definitely the time to pull her if you plan on investing. As for the fights, this is the easiest Transcendence to date of all time, pretty objectively. The left one is the Gao dinos, and the orb is to launch. These guys aren't dangerous at all. I think you gotta bring an orange crystal. Like Lael is the MVP, just LD only, and he makes them launchable all the time. You don't really gotta do nothing, and before you know it, the battle will be over. So that's cake. This can probably easily be done without a burst. The right node is the Aerith Behemoth. At least I think they're from the Aerith Lost Chapter, whatever. The orb is to reduce the HP damage that you take. So you gotta let them get turns and eat an HP attack, but take less of it. This is to sell Porom, but we have so many units that do that now, like Guy, Gladio, Warrior of Light, Galuf. Mine's blanking here, but there's a ton of units that can fulfill this condition. I think Reno's LD Pyramid might fulfill it. Don't quote me on that though. Let them get turns. They're pretty HP attack happy. Just provided you get the proper turn manipulation, then you don't end up getting screwed by this orb. It can be a little tricky to finesse, but not terribly difficult, I don't think, once you get the rhythm going. They buffed themselves at some point. I don't remember exactly what the buffs were, but I don't remember them being particularly threatening. But I also had Edward on the team and kind of shut them out, so maybe I missed something big. I don't know. Okay, never mind that. I just looked at the boss page and they give themselves HP regen, so you might want to push that off maybe. Shout out to 8 debuff. Now we have a harder time pushing enemy generics off, but that's a thing to be worried about. Otherwise, this fight wasn't bad either. Porom, Warrior Light, we have so many options to reduce HP damage, so you just play the fight normally and you'll be fine. The middle gate's interesting. The first wave is the Charlotta dragon things, and they have attacks that ignore brave damage reduction. So Warrior Light has an interesting interaction here, where if he he has the shields up, so they ignore the shields and they'll break you, but they won't hit the shields. So your HP damage reduction will be immaculate, and you'll just not die like at all because they can't reduce your shields. So it ends up working in that favor. It just totally trivializes it. But the actual orb is on the second wave. But I know for a fact that in the Charlotta wave, I think around 50% you gotta launch so you can actually do brave damage, because they get like, launch me. But other than that wave's, I ran it with Warrior Light, so I don't remember anything about it. It was that trivialized, And Warrior Light trivializes the second wave too. It's a reskin of the dreaded Medusas, but they're not nearly as bad this time. Orb in the second wave is just 2 HP regen, and you can actually accomplish this with the sphere. So what I did was I ran Lael, Warrior Light BT, and Bart's BT here, and I put a generic Porom's HP regen sphere on my Bart's, and that satisfied the orb, and I just murdered them. And it was that easy. This fight is seriously cake compared to the last 2 like nonsense Transcendence we've had. JP side, I ran Lael, Galuf, and Bart's for my burst on the left, and on the right I had Warrior Light BT, Sephiroth LD, and Edward. For some reason, I don't know why I was insistent on using Edward with Warrior Light, but that was a dumb move that caused me to reset a bunch. And then in the middle, I just used Bart's with the C Sphere for Porom's HP regen, and then I used Lael and Warrior Light, and I just breezed through it. It felt like a chaos, honestly. It was that simple. Definitely the conclusion to ending a bit of a breather month after the nonsense that was like Edward and Dash's and Nine's lost chapter. Ugh, glad it's over. And that's it. Hope y'all enjoyed the clip and found it informative. I do try my best, generally. If you haven't already done so, please like the video, comment what you think and your plans, and make sure to subscribe to my channel for more great content. The full video is linked, so check that out as well. Continue showing love. Good luck, everybody. Peace.